Hello everyone. Week 2 of the Alliance of American Football League has been complete, and let's get right to it. We'll start with the first game of the day, which was a TNT game. The Salt Lake City Stallions and the Birmingham Iron. Birmingham playing their second straight home game. Salt Lake City on the road for the second straight week. And the most intriguing player of this league to me is still Luis Perez, the bowler turned quarterback. Had another good game. He was solid. 24-38 for 184 yards. His counterpart, Austin Allen, filling in for John Woodruff, who was injured, 15-31 for 114 yards. This was a defensive game. The Birmingham Iron defense have pitched shutouts in 7 of 8 quarters now. Salt Lake City's offense came on in the second quarter. Joel Bergeron had 11 carries for 70 yards. Brendan Oliver had 14 carries for 59 yards. So the Salt Lake City offense had over 100 yards rushing. Trent Richardson was the Irons' leading rusher, 41 yards on 19 carries. Also had about 30 yards in receiving also. 17,300 showed up at the old Gray Lady Noah's Legion Field. That is a plus 300 people increase from last week. So they're right now, the first 2 games are pretty consistent, and Birmingham seems to have the best defense by far. Tim Lewis has got that team rolling. It didn't look good for the Iron for a while. The Salt Lake will run the ball down and throws the second quarter. That's where they got all 9 of their points. But what killed Salt Lake City was their special teams. The big play was it Rashid Salam had the big turnover on the muff punt there, returned for a touchdown, and that's when things turned around for Birmingham. The Salt Lake City special teams was a disaster. I'm not sure if Taylor Bertolo is going to have a job by today, but in his defense, all 4 of his field goal attempts were 50 yards and over. He hit 1 from 53. He missed 1 from 50. He apparently hit another 1 from 50, but a delayed game pushed it back 5 yards. He missed that one. Another one went doink off the goalpost. And they had a chance to hit a 35-yard field goal, but a botched snap on Salt Lake City ruined that. He threw the helmet in the end zone. No one was open. And like I said, special teams killed my man Derek Erickson and his Birmingham, Salt Lake City Stallions. Birmingham now goes on the road. They will face Atlanta in their home opener. And Salt Lake City will have their long-awaited home opener against Arizona. So that'll be the league's first rematch of the year already. So we'll see how that goes. The second game of the day was Arizona-Memphis. Memphis, the home opener for Memphis, a disappointing crowd. Not even 12,000 people. I know it was a cold day in Memphis, but it should have been. It wasn't that cold. But again, I am from the Northeast, so Christian Hackenberg, who, boy, I tell you, he hung in there. I give him credit. He was flustered for much of the game. Thank God for that the offensive line could run block. Zach Stacy, the old Rams running back, had 101 yards for 19 carries. He's the first league's 100-yard rusher. Christian Hackenberg also had 39 yards rushing himself. And scored their one and only touchdown, if I remember right. But 4 turnovers in Arizona in the first half. That's where Memphis got all their points. They were shut out the fourth quarter. And when you can't pass the ball like Memphis can't right now, and like I said, it's pretty pathetic. I mean, they're going to have to do something with that offensive line. It is going down in flames right now. I mean, if it wasn't for the defense in the running game, Memphis would never have been in this game. Adding 4 turnovers by the Arizona offense. And The second half was the opposite. John Wolford, the quarterback of Arizona, who was last week's Offensive Player of the Week. He had 194 yards in the air, 2 touchdown passes. Justin Stockton had a 45-yard touchdown run in the game, which put the Hot Shots within striking distance, and John Wolford hit a touchdown pass. I think it was Tim Cook at the end of the game to seal the deal. Memphis got the ball back, but that offense was not going to do anything against Arizona. I mean, not that Arizona has a great defense, but when you're one-dimensional like Memphis, you're not. A 2-minute offense is not a good situation to be in. So, Mike Singletary loses a heartbreaker at home. He is 0-2. Arizona is 2-0. They head to Salt Lake City for the Stallions home opener. That would be the league's first rematch of the year already at week 3. And let's see, looks like Memphis is going on the road again to face Atlanta in their long-awaited home opener. So you're going to have Memphis going for their first win against a team looking for their first win, the battle of the 0-2s. Salt Lake City, they've done a lot of things well. They were just outclassed in the first game by Arizona, and just too many mistakes in the second game. And we'll see what happens from there. The third game of the day, the third game of the weekend, Orlando at San Antonio. Oh my, was this one heck of a game. By far the greatest game of week 2, the greatest game of the league so far in the short season. Just under 30,000 people attended the game, which is a record for this league right now. And so far, San Antonio fans have been the most loyal. And that Alamo Dome is pretty loud. This week's offensive player, no doubt, is going to be quarterback Garrett Gilbert of the Orlando Apollos. Fun and Gun is back for Steve Sperry, the former of the Apollos. He was 19 of 20 for 393 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Charles Johnson, 7 receptions, 192 yards receiving. His long was a 54-yard pass. Jalen Marshall, 3 catches, 84 yards. His long was 57. Chris Thompson, 2 receptions for 70 yards. His long was 54. I mean, the passing attack for Orlando was there. And thank goodness, because they couldn't run the ball to save their life. San Antonio made them one-dimensional, but it wasn't enough. Dennis Johnson had 57 yards for the Apollos rushing. I can tell you 50 of those yards came within the last 5 minutes to seal the deal. By then, you could tell the Commanders' defense was just tired. Logan Woodside of the San Antonio Commanders was 20-39 for 223 yards passing. Had one absolutely terrible pick six, which brought Orlando within striking distance. Eventually, they took the lead. Kenny Farrow had 74 yards and 13 carries. Marquise Wilson, the second quarterback for the San Antonio Commanders, had the second most with 32 yards rushing. And I'm sorry, folks. I know it's a league, they're trying to develop things, but this whole alternating quarterback thing has got to go. I'm sorry. Logan Woodside, for the first 2 weeks, I mean, other than the pick six he had against Orlando, he's been pretty solid. He's managed the game very well. Leave him in there. Where Marquise Williams could come in handy, bring him in for those 2-point conversions, because one, he's a big guy. He could run. He's physical in a league where there's no extra points and you have to go for 2. I think this is where Marquise Williams could be an added offensive weapon. Other than that, I think Logan Woodside, he's no Garrett Gilbert, he's no John Wolford, but he's solid. And he's managed the game well, other than that pick six. Leave him in there, San Antonio. San Antonio's big play of the second half, or was it in the first half, was the sack on Garrett Gilbert. They got to him a few times. They had 4 sacks on Garrett Gilbert. 1 fumble, return for a touchdown. And San Antonio is having trouble with 2-point conversions. And when you play a team against like the Orlando Apollos, you cannot score under 2-point conversions. The San Antonio offense was pretty balanced. They had a good mix of run and pass, which like they did last week against the San Diego Fleet. But Orlando takes this one in a thrilling game. It was a 37-29. If you like offense, and this was a pretty balanced game. There was a lot of defense also, but you know the offense gets all the glory, of course. So Orlando's 2-0, and San Antonio's 1-1, and San Antonio is now going to San Diego for their rematch against the Fleet. Both teams are 1-1, and that'll be for the division lead. Now, on to our last game of the weekend. The Atlanta Legends at San Diego at the old Jack Murphy Stadium. Yes, I know it's called SDCCU Stadium, and it was called Qualcomm, but I'm old school. I like to call it the Murph, Jack Murphy Stadium. Over 20,000 people attended the first game, which is good. This is San Diego's first professional football game in over 2 years. Matt Sims of the Atlanta Legends looked like his father. He stuck it. He hung in there. He took some shots. You saw the bloody hand in the fourth quarter. He was 17-25 for 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 bad interception. Philip Nelson filling for Mike Bercovici for the San Diego Fleet, 14-30 for 142 yards. Passing, 1 interception. The best thing I can say about Philip Nelson was he held his own, and he wasn't Mike Bercovici. It was raining for much of the game in San Diego. It seemed like for a while Atlanta had the good weather when they took the early 9-0 lead, and San Diego had the downpour every time they took the offense. But the difference in this game was the San Diego rushing attack. Thank goodness, because Mike Martz's his offense is not looking good right now, the passing attack. And thank goodness he had the run to go to. The greatest show on surf was not. The San Diego offense, 200 yards rushing. Juwan Gardner, 15 carries, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. Most of that coming in the fourth quarter to seal the deal for the Fleet in their first win. Terrell Watson, 14 carries for 49 yards, and Philip Nelson himself had 28 yards rushing. Denny Hageman, 4 for 4 in field goals. His long was a 46-yarder, 12 points for the Fleet. And Young Ho Koo was 2 for 2 for the Legends. His long was 29. Atlanta's 0-2. They're facing Memphis for their home opener this week, and San Diego's facing San Antonio in their rematch this week. And the battle, which would be for the division lead, no, it'd be battle for second place. Arizona's 2-0 right now. So that is your week 2 highlights of the AAF. It was a good week. All games are close. I mean, week 1 was good. Week 2 is even better. I am looking forward to week 3 coming up right now. I'm really getting into this league right now. They have done the right thing. The football quality has been pretty good. You can't complain. So that's it for week 3 of the AAF. I'm sorry, week 2 of the AAF. Week 3 will be this week. Oh boy. And let's see, what's the game of the week? I'm going to say the game of the week is going to be the San Antonio Commanders and the San Diego Fleet, the rematch of week 1. But the game I'm looking to is Salt Lake City hosting their long-awaited home opener against Arizona. For the simple reason is Salt Lake City is really the only cold weather team we have in this league, and I guess it's supposed to be about 30 degrees there. It'll be a daytime game, so it shouldn't be that bad, but I'm looking to all four games. I mean, the way this league set up, 8 teams, 2 games each day, is like having the NFL division playoffs every weekend for me, and I love football, so this has been pretty awesome. All right, let me know what you think. If you're Arizona and you're Birmingham, in Orlando, you're riding high. If you're Atlanta and Memphis, you got your work cut out for you. We'll see you next week, everyone. Have a good week.